Guys, what's up? It's Kayla from Hustle and Heart, and today we are going to talk about a few tips on the Goodwill bins. And if you have been to the bins and you went in there full speed ahead, had no idea what you were doing, it can be a little difficult to go to the bins, especially if you are not, familiar with them. I mean, yeah, you've gone to Goodwill, but the bins are, if you ask me, a totally different ball game. I'm going to go ahead and get into these tips, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. Open my notebook. So I'm gonna go off this list, and this is gonna be probably a hard one for a lot of my full-time resellers, but you'll probably thank me for it. Going in the morning is great, but there are always gonna be a lot of resellers. It is crowded. You just expect that it's probably gonna be busy, and you'll kind of have to work around that, and I'll get into that in another tip. But the next part of that tip is go in the evening. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you go in the evening, like say 4 o'clock on, they're open till 8 or 9 depending on where you are, where you're located, and the ones here in St. Louis roll out bins all day. So you might as well, kind of look into that, because during the day all these resellers are there, all these resellers are trying to get their buck, find their goodies, all that stuff, whereas in the evening it's not packed at all. It's actually more dead in the evening, and I still find just as good of stuff in the evening as I do in the morning. So look into that. Definitely try something new. You don't always have to go. I personally love the bins. I just hate being super crowded, and I hate that like over crazy feel. So I definitely love going in the evenings, and I have found great, like I said, great stuff just as I do during the day. Going at night, don't be against it. Like if you're reselling and you've been going to the bins and you haven't been finding anything, go at night. I promise you will find some good stuff. Into that, and choosing either first thing in the morning or a few hours before close, you want to avoid midday. So if you are leaving midday, that's one thing, but midday is the most time when people are getting off, people are leaving their day jobs. Traffic's gonna be crazy. Like, avoid midday at all costs to any, if you ask me, here in St. Louis, to either of them, because traffic gets nutty around that time. Resellers are trying to leave, regular people, are coming in. It's this crossover of like just craziness, and if you can avoid it, I would. You are gonna want to bring gloves, and you can get gloves at the dollar store for $1. You could use like rubber gloves, but I just use cleaning gloves because if I touch anything that may have a sharp edge, it doesn't rip my glove or anything like that. But you never know what you're touching. I'm not saying that there's going to be pee or nasty stuff in there, but I mean, sometimes things smell like cat pee, and sometimes things smell a certain way. And when you're trying to dig through the bins, especially if you're somebody who's going to go for house stuff, you don't know what you're touching. So I definitely recommend wearing gloves and washing your hands after you do your whole little shift through. So just to keep your clean. And the gloves too, like I said, there's things mixed in with things. So there could be a perfume spill, there could be makeup everywhere. Like, it doesn't just have to be nasty stuff, but I mean, I've heard stories of like stuff smelling like cat pee, like all this nastiness, like all that nasty stuff that we don't want. But it happens because it's just stuff jumbled, and people donate their stuff, and it could be gross. So there's that tip. So the whole time that you are sourcing and you're going through the bins and you're finding stuff and it's being a good day and all that awesome sauce stuff, you want to keep your cart close. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that meanly. You just never know if somebody's going to mistake your cart for theirs. You don't know if somebody's going to see your treasure on top and take it. You just really want to keep your cart close. And I really did not hear that in any videos that I watched on YouTube. I actually heard that from another reseller at the bins that told me that her cart has been stolen, and there's times where they just take the full-on cart. They don't even take whatever they want. They just take the cart and check out with it, and she'll be looking through bins and it's gone. So definitely keep your cart close to you. I keep my cart very close to me at all times. Not that I don't trust anybody. I mean, there are people there that I've met and talked to, but I'm still very cautious. Bins have hundreds of items in them. So do a quick check. I always check color first. I check, if it's got a whole bunch of holes, I automatically ignore it. If it's really old style, I won't touch it unless, depending on what it is. If it's vintage pieces, yes, but if it's like women's clothing, I don't do older style. I try not to do older style items. So I look at all that and then do that first check, and then stop before you leave. Say you go through the whole day, you got a whole cart full. It's time to go through what you have. Go through it slowly, because there's going to be holes probably where you didn't expect it on some items. There's going to be stains on the armpits, or there's going to be stains on, you know, a certain part of the item that you didn't see, and that's okay. I mean, you're in such a quick rush that you can't really pick up the item and check, you know, 360 it, check it. So you really want to make sure that you are doing that, because I have picked up items, gone home, and realized like, oh crap, this has a hole in it, or this has a stain in it, and it was a Free People item, or just a really good item, a really good brand, and it turns out it's got a hole in it. And if it's a big enough hole, I won't sell it. If it's a big enough stain, I won't sell it. I just won't. It's not worth the hassle. So this item may sound really, really stupid, but it's my favorite, or not this item, this tip, but it's my favorite one, and that is bring a snack and bring a drink. It's gonna sound stupid, but I swear to God, if you're there for hours on end, I bring, you know, something in my Yeti, and then I just bring like a granola bar or something, because if I'm there for hours on end, our outlets are literally next to a rundown mall, and then there's this huge Goodwill in one area. The other one is in the heart of downtown St. Louis, and there's nothing around it. It's like underneath some highways, like a huge building. There's nothing in there. So I, you know, especially when I'm there from 9 a.m. to like mid-afternoon, or, you know, evening, not so bad, but when you're there pretty much all day, I'm gonna need some food, I'm gonna need some fuel. So yeah, definitely bring a snack and drink. And our Goodwill at least allows it, the ones in St. Louis do, but I just honestly, when you throw it in like the little baby seat, you know, where you normally put a child, I put my purse there, and I put my drink, and then I have my snack in my purse, and it helps, you know, just in case I do get hungry and you're there for hours and you don't want to leave, you know, you don't want to pay and leave. So if you're dedicated like me, you just bring food to bring the food to the bins. It'll be good. It'll be a good time. Ain't nobody gonna judge you. Everyone at our Goodwills here in St. Louis, they do it. So at the Goodwill Bins, ours here in St. Louis do not have bags. With that being said, you want to either bring your own bags, bring trash bag, because everything's just going to go together anyway, or you can wait till you get there and hopefully you run across some like shopping bags, but that's not always the case. I mean, I found 3 shopping bags one time, and then I just didn't bring any because I was like, oh, I need a few more, and you never know what's coming through those doors. So definitely bring them, otherwise you're gonna be stuck throwing all the items in your car and then throwing them into your house. Even just have like an extra few trash bags in your car, you'll be good. Whenever the newest bin comes out, you have all these lines. They pick a line, they take away all those bins out of that line, and then as the bin comes up and it sits, the people around that bin, it's gonna be crazy. Expect it. You know, I don't want you walking in there thinking, oh, this is gonna be so, you know, easy and there's not gonna be one here. The bins get crazy here in St. Louis because not only do resellers know about them, but regular people know about them, and I thrift and I resell, so I can understand the craziness and the love for it. It's like a high when you get stuff so cheap, but definitely expect the craziness. People go nuts over some home goods, some electronics. Sometimes they go nuts over clothing. It just depends on who's there. I mean, a few times I've had people where, you know, they'll roll out the bins and they'll do one huge bin of clothes, one bin of home goods. The clothes came out first. Nobody messed with it. They all moved. So that's kind of nice too, is you'll kind of see who's going for what. But, you know, expect to, whenever to be going into the bins, to be pretty much grabbing stuff, because like I said, it gets kind of crazy and there may be a lot of people, and you know, that's the worst thing, is it gets kind of crazy and you're crowded and you got to pretty much grab really, really fast, which, like I said, that's at the point where if you're trying to get the newest bins, I would just check your items at the end. I wouldn't even worry about it. Just grab it if it looks like something that you would want to, you know, a piece that you would want to have. So when the newest bins come out, I've only noticed this when they're rolling out the newest bin, and that is that there is some pushing. There's some pushing, some shoving. People are, you know, trying to get down the line, because what they do is they bring the newest bins out, they put it at the beginning, and after after each bin comes another bin until the line's full. So all the way down until the end when it dies out, there's going to be craziness because people want the newest items. People want to look through these items. People have been waiting for these items. So everybody just comes kind of, traveling in. And just expect that craziness. But if you walk in and you're just checking out the bins and you're not messing with that line where people are waiting for the newest stuff, just because you can still find stuff in the bins. There's, like I said, hundreds of items in these bins. So you don't have to go, if it's your first time, you don't have to go to the line where everything's coming out first. Look through the bins first, kind of get the feel of what you're doing, and then check out, when they come out. But there's no pushing and shoving once those new bins are technically old. So it's not like you have to worry about it. People aren't pushing and shoving each other in the store. It's just you're up close and you're this close to somebody else. There's going to be some pushing and shoving because you're trying to grab items. So it's not, violent or anything like that. It's just a little pushing and shoving because people want their goodies. People love cheap stuff, bottom line. TL, be popping tags. We are 99 cents per pound, people. 99 cents. I know I've said it before, but hallelujah to the gods. It's so freaking cheap. I love it and can't beat it. So I love STL prices. I don't know if it's because we in the good old Midwest. I don't know why our prices are so good, but they are. I've heard of them being way more expensive. I've heard of them being only a little bit more expensive, but it's nice here in the St. Louis. And hopefully your Goodwill, wherever you are, have good prices. And they do have them. So when you walk in, they have it posted all over the store. Probably on the walls, on columns. Just look, if you don't see prices, definitely ask because they'll be happy to tell you. And books and glassware are always a different price. And then furniture in the store, and it sells for about $3 a piece. It's really nice. I saw at the regular Goodwill it'd be like $20. I recommend using some type of crossbody bag. Now if you are a guy, you're lucky because you guys have those itty bitty wallets, and I've thought about getting one for me just for the bend so I can keep it in my pocket. Just because I don't like, and I love huge purses. So it just makes me really nervous to have this huge ass purse, and you just never know. Because I definitely recommend a crossbody purse. They're super easy. You can get them. You can get it at the bins for for super cheap. But just like a little crossbody, keep your phone, keep your money, and leave everything else at home. There's no point in having anything else. Oh, and your snack. Definitely have your snack. So one thing that I do, and I do have a list on my phone, and I also have a list in a notebook that has my main list, and then my phone list is what I really want at that time or what I really want to be looking for. But keep a list of the items that you are looking for, because when you have that list and you're going through and you're like, wait a minute, do I know this brand? And say you're watching my videos or you're watching somebody else's videos and they're mentioning brands that you've never heard before, I always screenshot them from Instagram or I keep them in my notes. That way I can say, okay, this brand was mentioned in so-and-so's video. I'm going to hold on to this and then look at comps later. That list, it'll come in handy when you are looking through your stuff, checking flaws, checking brands, checking, if this is a good idea or if it's a hole in the wall brand. You don't want to be sitting there okay, did so-and-so say that this brand was good, or did so-and-so say that this wasn't that good? So you're going to want that list. It's going to help a lot. And most importantly, I really hope you guys have fun. And if you are a thrifter, you will love the Goodwill Bins. Like I've said in my previous video, if you are a new thrifter, I would not recommend the bins. It may not be the place that you want to be just because it could gross some people out. So if that's you, try a Goodwill, try Salvation Army first. But if you're like me and you just want, you want to get the best bang for your buck and you don't mind pushing and shoving, it's good. It's a good time. So, but anyway, I'm going to vlog tomorrow. I've got to do some running errands. I'm going to try a better vlog. I'm going to try to do a better vlog. So that'll be a lot of fun watching my video. I really hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions or anything like that, just ask me. I'll be happy to help you. Hit me up on Instagram I'll insert my thing here, my Instagram name and my Facebook page. So either or, if you need any help, just hit me up and it'll be down below too if you miss it. So have a great day, guys, and good luck at the bins. Message me, tag me, let me know how it's going. So I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys. Definitely